Hi. Hi. Everybody can probably see me right now. Because I done fucked up. So we're going to do that. I'm going to give it a little bit of time. People to show up. Yeah. And I need to mute this. Fun times. How are you guys doing out there? I seriously appreciate you guys showing up. It's been a weird couple of days for me, but I'm like beyond exhausted, and I'll be honest, I am supposed to have some people come by and clean out our vents or some crap, and yeah, so we're more or less waiting on that. Hopefully they decide to show up maybe towards the last 10 minutes, so I'd just be like, all right guys, it was fun, I can go. How you doing, Raven? How you doing, DIY Down Under? I'll be honest, can you please tell me how you pronounce your name? I think I heard it Pippa, but I don't want to mess it up because I don't want to be that guy. But I am horrible for names. I'm horrible for pronunciation. If you actually pay attention to the way my speech pattern works, I enunciate quite heavily for that reason. But yeah, user abuser, bro, if you're still here, thank you. Thank you for joining me, hanging out for the last 20 minutes. Awesome. All right, cool. I'll try to keep that in mind. And I do like this pre-show just shooting the shit kind of thing. It's kind of cool. Let me see. I gotta make sure I got everything all ready to go over here. So let's see. We got some advocacy talk, some what I've been vaping, all that kind of thing. Don't roll an R though. All right, there you go. I'll be honest, I'm Hispanic, so that double R roll is a very inherent thing, especially when I actually speak Spanish. But notice hanging out with my parents over the weekend. I'm so not used to talking Spanish anymore. I don't hang out around Hispanic people all that much, so I'm getting used to not talking it all that much. It's really weird. All right, let's get this show going, guys. Seriously appreciate you guys for being here.
There's the bear. They call
Hello, how are you guys?
Daddy.
Oh wait, there it goes. Hello, how are you guys? Okay, I'll be honest. I didn't wake up till about 1 o'clock. I've been up for only a couple hours. Normally, I've been up for 3 or so hours. But this has been kind of a trial and all that kind of thing. Trying to even just be awake. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm just waiting on the vent people to show up. And if I need to cut the show short, I probably will. It's one of those things. When you're Aussie, the R's are sharp and nasally. Hello, Mrs. Clownette. How are ya? Call her Peepaw. Don't just call her late for dinner. Okay. Oh, man. So, how you guys doing? Hopefully everything's going very well. Yeah, so I'm kind of jumping sort of back into the pod train due to certain situations in my day-to-day. My wife knows what I'm talking about, and I am not all that thrilled about it, but whatever, it is what it is. So, yeah, and I don't even remember what juice I have in this guy. it will close back up. I like fiddling with things, but yeah, got that Orion pod going right there. Don't know what juice is in it, but it's delicious. Then next I got the Me Pod. Let's see, Long Road Ohm. How's it going? 808 Wreckin' Ghost, how you doing? No, I started going into what I've been vaping without even hitting the bumper. But either way, how's it going? Hi, welcome everybody. I am very unorganized apparently. I'll be honest, I was watching the Aziz Ansari special on Netflix, and it was going pretty good. And it's messed up, but I love Aziz Ansari. Dude is fucking crazy. So yeah, been really digging into comedy lately. It's been crazy. Alrighty, so that aside, let's just do some what I've been vaping. Alright, so what I've been vaping, back to that. Yeah, Orion, still don't know what juice is in here. Got that Me Pod going. In that I got the what is this called again? The Kamala Tropical Fruit Gum. It's pretty good, liking it. Hask 801, how's it going? I appreciate it, brother. Seriously, respect to you as well. I mean, we're all here for one reason or another, and we do what we do for us and our own personal sake. You know what I mean? Mike the Vaping Ape. Oh, okay, cool. Scott's reviews. Alright, cool. Let me see. Alrighty, and let me see. Hello, Kim Dixon. How are you? I'm kind of getting distracted by the chat, sorry. And I forgot to pop over the chat to this side. So here, you guys get to see the bottom of my screen for a split second here. I'm gonna do this right now. That way you guys get to... There we go. That way I'm actually looking at the camera and it looks like I'm talking to you, but in reality, I'm looking at this guy over here. What's up, Texas Cloud Town? How you doing? Alrighty, so... yeah, some pods. Then I also got this guy. Just got this guy in, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm liking it. The Tabino on top. This is a Bolt 18650 edition. And I don't know how to feel about the Tabino, to be honest. I'm still kind of iffy about it, but it is what it is. Then next I got the plug. Oh yeah, then that one I got the last bit of my Overdrip Berry, or no, the Overdrip Custy. Which I might need to hit that dude up and see if I could try some of the newer creations he's got going. Hello, Jerry Lawrence. Wow. Seriously, there's a lot of you folks here. Normally by like this point there's only like 3 or 5 people, so I do appreciate everybody for being here. You guys are amazing. Yeah, I got the plug Legacy with the custom Moondrop doors. Let me see if it'll focus on it. It's like, you can't see it, but it's like really shiny and sparkly in there. These were made by CS Wood. He's an awesome dude. Chris is an awesome guy. We chat about random things all the time and all that kind of jazz. In that I have Karango from Transistor. And then lastly we're going to go with the Pontus with the Skyfall guy there on top. With I had M-Turk wraps, and I just like how that M-Turk wrap looks in there. And in that I got from the Gathering Vapor Lounge Witch's Brew Blue Goblin. Let me see. What? Hello, Vapor Swaggins. Oh yeah. I was gonna like help you promote the waffle, but it's closed. If you guys have not checked it out, seriously, go hang out with Vapor Swaggins over at the High End Vape Forum. Is that what it is? Yeah. If you want to, Swags, if it'll let you, and you can, drop a link to the forum if you want to have more people join in, all that kind of thing. It's got more of a high end feel. It's got, you could look more at that kind of stuff if you're into it. And, I think you guys do like buy, sell, trade stuff there. I'm not sure. Or even just discussion of what new atomizers, new mods, and all that kind of thing they have going on over there. And go check out Vapor Swaggins' channel with his series. Would you look at that? And the current one, would you look at this? Been checking it out. Alrighty. Let me see. Where am I on this right here? See, speaking of pods, left my Orion in the car. Be right back. Gonna rebuild a recurve dual today. Got some new handmade aliens. Sweet. See, drag some of my build and DIY team to your stream. Oh, thank you so much, Raven. Seriously, you're amazing. I appreciate that. Hope they weren't kicking and screaming. You dragged them here. Yeah, I was like, isn't it like 6 in the morning for you there? Pippa? Isn't it like 6 in the morning there? 6? I don't know. What time is it in Australia? Let me see. No matter what. No, what is it? No, the master of I'm here so you don't have to be. What the hell? Alrighty. Where did I leave off? Yeah, so yeah, that's what I've been vaping on. It's usually the Pontus. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's like a $50 little squonker guy from Indonesia. They are fucking cool. And every once in a while, they will drop a code for free shipping. Take advantage of it because that Indonesian shipping to at least the US is about $30, and that does bring up the price. But if you could get free shipping, $50 for a little squonker guy that looks like that, looks really cool. Then you get the Ultim and the white Delrin for the same price. They are really, really amazing ones. Oh, so it is, and you've been awake for 4 hours. Jesus, I feel you. That's why I have an overnight job. Because my actual 9 to 5 job is actually at 10 to 6 a.m. Alrighty, so where are we going? Let's do some beer. Alright, so beer. I've actually drank this one on camera before. I'll be honest with you guys, I am like straight out of new beers. I've drank through everything I had. And I was like, well, I still want a beer. I want to do a beer, and we're going to do this guy. It's Jesus, I forgot to pronounce this. Marsis. It's a triple. It's a Belgian style beer. These are really, really delicious, and they have been sitting in my fridge for a bit, so they might be a little bit aged, so we will see how it goes. Appreciate it, Raven. Yeah, you have tried the e-liquids. I'm glad you enjoyed them, honestly. And currently I'm still working on new things. I'm still working on some of the projects that I'm going on for the Patreon. It's one of those things I hate asking for it. I really do, but like it helps me because I mean I'm still self-funded. Like anything I review, anything I do is all through me and all that kind of thing. Like even right now I'm looking into selling some gear because I don't use it. Might as well sell it and get something new for review purposes and such. But over on my Patreon, I actually have a DIY along where basically I run a randomizer. The winner for that month gets to hang out with me, talk some DIY stuff, and we'll come up with a flavor profile. I will make the juice. You get a bottle. I get to keep a bottle, and like I'll try it on video, and I'll even do a video on how to mix it and all that kind of thing. So I don't know, just think something fun to do. You know, I desperately need to catch up with it, but whatever. All right, let's go for the pour on this guy. Yeah, and I picked what I believe to be the appropriate glass for that. Look at that. That is just a nice little amber-ish kind of color. You can see some of the bubbles kind of going up. Hello, Ayo. How are you doing, brother? Oh, yeah, you did. Texas Cloud Town, we got to have some DIY fun in Houston a couple of weeks back. And Yeah, bugs and drugs. That's all I gotta say. Which I still need to send you that recipe so you can try doing it again. Hey, I don't know. Jay, Texas Cloudtown, if you're cool, let me know. If I made that a public recipe, and that way anybody can try it out and see if they can do it. All right. Do I swear a lot? Yes, I kind of do. I'm sorry if it comes off offensive. It's just more my speech patterns. And I'm being sincere on I am sorry. I just do kind of swear quite a bit. It's the way I talk. All right, so let's give this a try. Do I like hip hop music? Yeah. More or less like an old school guy, I guess, at this point. Like Dr. Dre. Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Ice-T. I actually like Ice-T's metal band. If you guys have never checked it out, Body Count is Ice-T's metal band. They do like thrash metal, like suicidal tendencies and stuff like that. It's really cool. It's still so good. I think it's aged really well. It's a lot more mellow. It's got like a weird tanginess to it. I'm really liking that. DMX, dude, DMX. I have not heard, like, I didn't really get into DMX, but I remember like listening to DMX back in the day. I'll say like more contemporary guys. I remember I was really big into Common, and that's not even contemporary at this point, because that's like, we're talking like mid 2000s. Disneyland fight. No, I've not heard of the Disneyland fight. Alrighty, so yeah, that actually tastes really good. Let's see, we're gonna give this one a try. This one and this one. We'll see. So we're gonna go with the Blue Goblin, which is a blue raspberry. I think that'll work really good. Let's give this a shot. Oh dear Lord, that's it right there. Okay, so Blue Goblin from the Gathering Vapor Lounge. Gee, I really keep getting like the most random of things with like the Gathering Vapor Lounge juices. Like Naul, I know would work great with this, and I don't have any like in front of me right now because basically all my stuff is put up because we have like apartment people and things coming in, and even then I don't think I'm supposed to be vaping indoors and all that kind of thing. So it is what it is. Alrighty, so downsides to living in an apartment, just saying. Alrighty, so next we're gonna go with the from the Ripe Collection Fuji melons. I have that in the Wasp Nano on top of the Pug. Let's give this a shot. Let me see this. Yeah, okay. It's like, do I need to drip it? Because I've hit this thing dry and it's not fun. That wasn't too bad. The blue raz was a lot better. That was a lot better. Here, I'm gonna give this a shot. Let's see. I know this is like a fruity one. What's up, Shadow Links Vapor? How you doing, brother? I'm gonna give the Orion with the mystery juice in here, and we're gonna give that a try. I've never actually done like mixed salt with beer, so we'll see how this works. Not bad, not bad. It, like, the flavors don't blend as much because, again, pod systems are a lot more muted. They're not as heavy, but it did give me a nice nicotine hit, so there's that. So yeah, we're gonna finish it off with Karango and see what's up with that. Okay, cool. That actually worked out really good. Sorry if I'm coming out really loud. Turn that down a little bit. What's it called? The mango actually blends with the beer really well, and you'd think the caramel flavor in there would like kind of destroy everything and eschew it, but it really doesn't. It actually it blended really, really well. I'm actually like, that was actually pretty good. I was like a little bit iffy about doing that. Addy Tooney, my dude, how are you, man? Oh man, I love. I'll be honest. I love seeing everybody show up and like me being able to shout you guys out individually and all that kind of thing. Makes for a good time. Thank you, Addy, for dropping them links. Seriously, I appreciate that. If you guys didn't know, was it last Saturday? I was on DIY Down Under's channel. And I got to do some DIY talk about how I started and all that kind of jazz. And yeah, that was a fun time. Got to like actually talk face to face to Fresh 03, which I had a great time with that. Dude is a trip. And then we got to do some live mixing, which it was funny because I was not prepped for it. And I was scrambling looking for things. I was looking at this drawer. I was looking at my shelf back there. I couldn't even find my actual scale that I used, so I used my other scale, and that just did not turn out very well. So I ended up remixing it and redoing the whole thing afterwards because I was like, well, now I'm obsessing with trying to do this. So I like seriously actually looked for things properly. Like I've never done like on the spot mixing, and I am so ill prepared for it because like all the other DIYers have all their stuff within reach and on shelves everywhere. I do not have the room or the space for that at the moment, so I'm just having to like scramble completely, which it's about the most funniest thing ever. What's up, Josh Rhodes? How you doing? Let me see. Trying to see what am I missing? Alrighty, so no, that was fun. I'll be honest, that was fun. I had a great time with going on the deep end. Like honestly, I should have been more prepared, but it's one of those things. I didn't really know what we were doing, and it was just more fun that way. Honestly, it was just I'm a very haphazard kind of guy, anyways. I rarely do structure. I do have some structure, but I rarely do it. And like I live in controlled chaos, if that makes any sense. Like at least within my things, my wife like hates how my desk looks half of the time, but I know where everything's at and I know where to reach for it, and it makes me happy, you know what I mean? Let me see. Alrighty, so we're gonna jump into some news and advocacy stuff. So yeah. Yes, improv is great. It can be fun, honestly. As long as we at least have like a set goal, I guess. But even then, I feel like half of what I do is improv anyways. And speaking of which, all right, so news and advocacy, as always, stay vigilant, stay aware of your surroundings, please. The best advocate and activist for you is yourself. Do what you need for you. As Mr. Shane Oakley says, just because it's not happening in your town doesn't mean it won't happen. It is a true fact, and you have to stay on top of things. Yeah, Mike knows. Oh yeah, I don't know. Can I even announce that yet? I'm not even sure, like honestly. But Mike knows he's been our guest a couple times, and he knows how we're very fly by the seat of our pants. We'll like maybe talk out like a basic subject or something, but from there it's just improv. I mean, we're just kind of having an actual discussion. It's a conversation. It's not pre-scripted or anything like that, you know? Which having at least an outline is fine with me, because that gives me an idea of where we're going with it, but I don't like being told what to say. A while back, I did have that's like a year ago at this point. I was on another podcast. It was Vape, Beer, and Tacos. I think it's still up on SoundCloud. I think, because I was the one that was in charge of that. But there's a couple of episodes still up on SoundCloud, and the guy that I worked with, he wanted to do a full pre-written script, and I'm like, I'm not reading a script, dude. You're basically putting words into my mouth, and you're telling me how to talk. That's not how it works. Everybody knows. All right, so as of this week, Mike the Vaping Ape is Mike is officially a member of the Wolfbite podcast / radio show. So he is part of our group, and he is actually going to be like adding a third voice to what it is. I mean, like me and Frank have our opinions. We have the way we look at life and how we can talk about things. But having that third opinion really, really adds to the dynamic, and we enjoyed having Mike on the first and second time. And like Frank seriously messaged me one day. He's like, "Hey bro, I have an idea." I'm like, "Hit me." And he was all like, "Do you want to make Mike a permanent member of the show?" And I was like, "Why not?" And he's like, "Well," and he's like, "I'm just making sure." He's like, you know, like I like how we talk, how we can converse and things like that. That there's like more back and forth and stuff like that. I was like, "Yeah, exactly, dude. That's it works out really well." So we were like, "Screw it." And then this past Monday when we recorded, Mike is like an official member at this point. And like I said before, I doubt they're watching, but Vape Radio, Mike needs a shirt. Mike, are you going to Midwest or any of the Midwest shows that are coming up? I know there's a couple coming up, aren't they? And as Texas Cloud Town says, stay on your toes, not your heels. They will surprise you. They will surprise you and on your ass. Yeah, very true. It is one of those really weird things of if you're on, what's it called? If you actually go to like your local government's websites and things like that, they actually do have a lot of these like town hall meetings and things like that. They don't make public announcements of them, but they do have on their sites what agenda is falling when, and when are they going to talk about what, and when is it an open forum for this and that. So, you know, you actually got to do a little bit of legwork, but it's to benefit yourself. I mean, I try to stay on top of my local stuff here in town. Like they actually live, like the local office for where I'm at, the town I'm at, is like maybe 5 minutes like west from here. So I could actually go down there and talk to them. And I'm talking about like my state senator, like this, you know, the senator in my state. I could actually go to their office and try to talk to them about things. I know the city capital is somewhere down that same area. I know they just moved it. Yeah, Josh Rhodes, if you want to give a listen to it, it's a Wolfbite show, I think, on SoundCloud. I think I have a link down below for it on the description. But yeah, you guys can go check that guy out. Go, you can listen to it. Frank is like behind by about 10 episodes at this point. Sorry. He's behind by about 10 episodes or something like that. And it's one of those things. Texas, trying to go to the Vegas show. So yeah, dude, Vegas show. You guys are lucky. I'm just saying. Traveling is not cheap. It's all like Houston was kind of a no-brainer for us, but even then that kind of turned into a bigger hassle than it was supposed to be. Alrighty, so yeah, news and advocacy. So this article is off of Soupwire. It says e-cigarette marketing PR agencies are quitting vaping. According to the PR industry top trade publication PR Week, biggest public relations and agencies are reportedly saying no thanks to e-cigarette clients. This is problematic for e-cigarette companies who are scrambling to change public perception, just as federal and state governments are bearing down hard on e-cigarettes and vaping. Ayo, since you're here, I like the fact that you're actually here, because we just talked about this over on the Vape Corner. If you guys haven't checked that out, go over to Ayo's channel. You won't see me or Frank, but you'll hear our voices, because that's kind of how that episode went for some weird reason. But what's it called? we were talking about how like we need better PR, we need better public relations, we need better publicity as vaping. The overall scheme of vaping right now, we're made to be this evil, we're made to be this horrible thing that, you know, we're out to get the children, we're out to like do this and that, and it just makes fuck all sense in all reality, you know. And it's one of those things, you know, it's one of those things of like, you want to put this negative perspective on it, and that's all that's been sent out in the public eye. Like us here as vapors, we know the difference, we know what it's meant, we actually have done the research, but in the public grand scheme of things, where we're outnumbered by people and this and that, it's one of those things of like, you can't, like, they really have put us in such a negative light. And even then, there's always that bad egg, that bad apple that even furthers the stigma. I mean, it's that idea of tattooed, flat build, bearded guy, you know, those, that, I mean, trust me, I live that life, I look that way. And it's one of those things of, you know, we have to put out a better image for vaping, but we need to do one of those things that just needs to be done. What's up, bad mother trucker? Got to meet Bad Mother Trucker in Houston. He's a bigger fella than I actually thought, honestly. Like, I knew you were a big dude, but honestly, you were a lot bigger in person. Dude is built like a bear. Alright, so yeah, PR stuff. They're not, you know, PR firms don't want us. They don't want to like help us out. They don't want to like make vaping look better. And it's just one of those things of, you know, we do need that. We really do. But it's one of those things of we don't know what to do. Southwest isn't bad. That's how I flew to Connecticut. That the planes are cramped, I'll give you that much, but still. He's like, well, thanks. Fun times. So yeah, let's move on here. Let me see. I'm looking at the time and paying attention for if they're gonna show up or not. Still waiting to see if the vent people will show up and air out our vents and things like that. Like in the last couple of months, we've noticed that we're getting a bit of a weird ashy cigarette smell, which is ironic, but at the same time, don't really care for the smell, don't really want it in my home. So it's one of those weird things. I really think it's one of our neighbors, but I'm not sure. Honestly, just sleep the whole way there, dude. Just sleep the whole way there. And, you know, okay, going back to the whole PR thing. In turn, in the UK, they're actually opening vape shops inside of UK hospitals. Like, how is that for some shit, honestly? Let's see, this is from Vape On Magazine. It was published yesterday, July 9th. It says, vape shops open inside UK hospitals by Angela Garrity. The Times UK is reporting that 2 hospitals in the Midlands are the first in Britain to open vape shops inside the hospitals' walls for patients, staff, and visitors. The move is part effort to eradicate smoking. The shops were approved to be ran from inside the hospital by Sandwell and West Birmingham NHS Trust. A small number of smoking shelters will remain for vapors. Alrighty, so yeah, and that's one of those weird things of like, we have all this positive stuff coming out of places like the UK, somewhat Canada. Canada's got like weird mixed emotions when it comes to vaping. They're like for vaping, but then they ban it in certain places, which starts making expos not a thing. And then it just goes from province to province at that point. Yeah, and I mean, that's another one. I mean, right now, they're actually looking at eradicating smoking in the UK as of 2030. They, like, I don't know if you guys saw this. Let me see. You guys saw this article, but they have leaked. Let's see if it'll let me. Okay, let me. They said there was a leak plan of action when it comes to eradicating smoking and making it a normal thing. Pretty much. And, they're actually pushing towards making vaping the alternative to smoking and getting rid of smoking altogether. And it's one of those things of like, you see things like that happening in places like the UK that, we consider ourselves equal to when it comes to how civilized they are and this and that. I mean, education, even though I have my mixed feelings about that one, but that's a whole different thing. But we see ourselves in that like same platform as they do. But then we allow things like money to control, we allow things like money to control how our government works and how our government speaks. And it's one of those things that they're full of shit. Yeah, in New Zealand, 2025, which, again, that's one of those weird things to see because New Zealand is close to Australia and Australia is kind of like the opposite of it. And, Pippa, you could probably speak up for that point. I've heard some of the horror stories. I just don't know all of them. But I mean, the fact that you can go to jail for having nicotine on you, it's one of those weird things that just makes no sense. Just kind of like the San Francisco vaping ban. Like the San Francisco vaping ban. It's like, we're going to ban vaping, but we're not going to ban cigarettes. It's how the hell does that make any sense? Can you please explain to me that? It's just one of those weird things. But it's because they want that cigarette money. And it's like money controls all, and it really allows policies to be made and ideologies to be set forth and all that kind of thing. But then, in the end, they're not looking for the benefit of their people, of their constituents, or anything of that sort. As DIY down there put it, just puppets. And I mean, I'm on that point too. They're just fucking puppets at this point. Not even. They're like those little dolls with the pull string, and somebody just sits behind them pulling that string constantly, and they just blabber whatever's already pre-programmed into them. It's like, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's been going around for a little bit. Okay, okay. Okay, so yeah, Big Pharma. Again, that's what it is. Yeah, USA wants vaping gone by yesterday, and it's because it's hurting them. It's messing over the mass settlement agreement. They're not getting that cigarette money anymore. They are... And I wonder if it retroactively applies to vaping when it comes to how Altria has picked up Juul and a couple of snus companies and other vaping companies. I wonder if it still works towards that kind of stuff, or the My Blue. Does it still affect that? Let me see. They bet on futures, took a loan on those futures, and vaping is upsetting those projects. Oh yeah, projections. No shit, dude. And I mean, I've said it before on different platforms, I guess. I am originally from California, and as a native Californian, turned Texan kind of thing, I am ashamed to say that I am from California in that sense. The fact that they really don't look at it in how can we benefit our people. I mean, they have one of the biggest healthcare programs out there as far as I know. If I'm wrong on that point, let me know, but they really do give a lot of healthcare. I mean, my mom, she's had diabetes for at least the last 30 years, and cause she got it from when my brother was born, and from that point on, she was on healthcare programs like Medicaid and things like that through California's government. So you'd think with that in mind, and that as somewhat of a incentive to not have to spend so much on Medicaid, you think they would want to lessen their budget on things. I'll be honest, when we left California, they were in a giant they were fucked. Sorry, I'm like slurring things here now. Damn it. Deficit. There you go. They're in a giant deficit, and their money was going to shit. And I mean, that's part of why they had the recall, which is hilarious because impeachments and recalls, as much as people love calling for them, they do not realize how much the taxpayers actually have to pay for that shit to happen. It gets expensive and it gets ridiculous. So always keep that in mind whenever you're wanting to call impeachments or recalls on governors or things like that. You do keep in mind your tax money will pay for it, and that comes out of the budget, and then we have to pay more taxes the following year. What's it called? So yeah, and I remember everybody was so excited that Arnold was coming on and that he was going to change everything. Did anything change in reality? No. Did anything get better? No. You know, it just kept turning into a bigger sinkhole and a bigger sinkhole. And I remember the first couple of months, like, he got rid of like a lot of like programs and even things like fire departments and things like that, because a lot of that tends to be more or less volunteer, and they just pay them for their time. So it is volunteer and it isn't, but even then, those are government programs. The government pays for this stuff. You got to keep that in mind. Police, fire, things like that, the government actually pays for that. That's how that is paid for, you know. So they started cutting back on all that to like help out with the budget issue, and it just really made things, it didn't really help anything. It just made people lose jobs. There you go. Bad mother truckers got it right. They just use up all the budget and waste it, and then barely put anything. But so yeah, I mean, when it comes to like idiocies in vaping, this whole new thing of having it change the bottles and stuff. I don't know if you guys have seen that video that's been going around from Regulator Watch. It's one of those things of they wanted to change the bottles to super low flows and things like that. I'll be honest, I feel like chubby gorillas probably fall within all that kind of thing, but I'm not fully sure. And it's one of those things of I'm not fully sure what bottles qualify, what bottles don't qualify. Like I said, I think chubby gorillas kind of work because they are really, honestly, a pain in the ass. But what I love is that, like, the way you're supposed to test out whether your bottles are appropriate or not is by making this in-home, like, mechanical robot contraption thing, and it's supposed to squeeze juice to the level of a child. And the thing is, it's one of those things of like, how do you calculate the grip of a child? Do you like have a child grip on something, get the pressure of that, and then, you know, then you try to calculate it with the machine? I don't get how that works, but they are really pushing hard for this low flow bottle crap. Like, I can understand the issue with like glass dripper bottles. I mean, I know some people love glass dripper bottles, but I can see the issue with it. But even then, maybe you could limit how much goes into the dripper portion. It's one of those things of, you know, there are other things. I know. Yeah, and exactly. I know glass bottles are not compliant because once you get that top off, it could spill over and this and that. But even then, I want this to be put out there. If you have glass dripper bottles, if you have one of those things where your children can get at your vape gear, being e-liquid, hardware, anything, in all reality, is it the company's fault or is it the parents' fault? Oh, man. And that's just one of those things of like, that's where I fall on that. It's like, you know, if your kids are getting into your vape stuff, where the fuck are you as a parent to not stop this. I mean, I know kids get into things. My oldest, when she was 2, got into the laundry detergent. Like, we had granulated soap, and luckily we caught her before she did anything stupid. But like, she seriously like got into it. Like, we had just put it down for a second and ran at it because fucking kids are really curious and this and that. But we stopped her. We were very aware of what was happening at that moment, and we made sure that she didn't like harm herself. And then we were like, you know what? This won't go below this certain point. We will put it above somewhere else. And this is how we're going to keep her from getting into it again. Because obviously she's already tried once. We're not going to have a second. And, you know, even then, like, it's just one of those common sense things of like, a lot of these things keep out of the reach of your children. It even says it on the goddamn bottle, honestly. Let me see. Where is it on this bottle? Yeah, there you go. Keep away from children, right there. Keep away from children and pets on that bottle. Let me see. I'm trying to find it because like a lot of these have like different placements and things like that. So it is kind of a pain in the ass to find. This just has the... Oh, that doesn't seem right. Well, I guess that's not compliant. Let's go with M-Turk. I feel like M-Turk would at least do some of this properly. It says not for sale to minors, for sales in the USA only. Yeah, it just says not for sale to minors. All right. It's supposed to say keep away from children. Oh, there it is. Keep out of reach of children and pets. Do not drink. Yeah, that's another one. Like, it's one of those funny things because what is it, the CRC or what the fuck were they called again? They are actually supposed to they are in charge of things like that, like hazardous materials that can be ingested that are not meant to be ingested. But you know what, we've been dealing with, last year we had the era of the Tide Pod challenge. What stupidity was that? You know, like if you actually watch the video, the regulator watch video, he even brings up the point of, are bleach bottles childproofs? Like, are they childproof? Do they have childproof caps on bleach bottles? And the guy's all like, no. And he's all like, are they gonna make a push for that? They said no. Yeah, it's not that hard to keep an eye on your kids. It's very easy to like stay on top of things and be able to be aware of what they're doing and what they're actually, you know, what's going on around them. Like, it's one of those things, again, like we were talking about parents and vaping and this and that on AO's show. And I brought up that point of that lady that her son got a Juul, got addicted to nicotine, and he ended up in the hospital because he was over like nicking himself and things like that. Thank you, moderators. He you know, got himself put in a rehab to get off of nicotine and yada yada. And I loved watching the mom just be so upset and so worked up about this shit. But where the fuck were you before this? Like, at any point did you talk to your kid about this? Were you there to like be like, hey, what's going on? What's new? I understand kids, teenagers don't really like telling their parents anything. I was that way as a teenager. But at the same time, you know, you got to be somewhat aware of what's going on with them. I try my best to talk to my kids. I try to educate them the best I can. When it comes to vaping, I think they know more than most adults at this point, because I have actually taken the time to talk to them about this. I even gave them a lecture about battery safety and stuff like that once. It's one of those things, you know, it's like, yeah, alcohol doesn't have childproof caps either. Well, I don't know. These are, for these, it's pretty childproof, but cans, not so much. Or bottles. Yeah, and that's the thing. We do live in that era of everybody wants everybody else to raise their kids except for them, even though it's their responsibility because they brought them into this world. And that's just kind of how I look at it. You know, it's one of those weird things of like, how can you expect me to raise your kid for you? That's not my problem. I have my own kids. That's my problem. If you're single and don't have kids, that's not your problem to raise somebody else's kid. You know, it's not the government's job to raise your kids for you. You know, it's one of those things of like, personally, I don't care for the government telling me how to raise my kids. I think I can do a pretty damn good job on my own. I understand maybe some things and points in history that weren't the best of ways of raising children, but for the most part, we've survived this long as a fucking species, which means we're probably not doing that terrible a job. So the more regulation we add to this and things like that is bullshit. Still keeping an eye out. Sorry. Oh, man. Well, I think I'm good on ranting. And I've enjoyed hanging out with you guys. I appreciate you guys. Go check out clownvapes.com for your juice and coil needs. I got new things coming up. Hopefully I can get some wire at some point so I could start building again. I really want to finish filling up my jars and things like that, so I'm ready for that. I had a mother walk past me yesterday with 3 young kids, pointing me out, saying to them, "Stand back. She could blow up with that thing in her hand." I'm like, what the fuck? Oh my god, that is ignorant. Again, that we need better PR, and apparently PR companies don't want to deal with vaping. Yeah, and I mean, that's one of those things, like, I think actually talking to your kids about things, I think kids talking to your kids about stuff, you know, is better than telling them no. Growing up, my parents actually let me and my younger brother drink beer or things like that, and they kind of got that stigma out of the way. Like around the age of 11, they kind of let us do that. We, tried it, and they kind of was a non-taboo thing. And I understand that it's not the best of practice, but at the same time, my point is, the more taboo you make things, the more somebody wants to try them, and the more it's gonna like add to wanting to do something you're not supposed to for yourself. It could put you in a danger and all that kind of thing. Wait, so Grim's doing a vlog today? Is Grim doing the vlog today? If he is, I'm heading over there. All right, so yeah, clownvapes.com. I already mentioned that. Go check out Wolfbite Show now with a Mike the Vaping Ape, and go hang out and all that kind of thing with us, and go listen to us over on vaperadio.com. We're on at noon Central Standard Time on Saturdays, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on Sundays, then Vaping with the Ohmies on Mondays. Go check us out over on the Vaping with the Ohmies channel, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And yeah, thank you for all that. Yeah, I can't believe it. It's really hard to like go past people that are completely ignorant and not try to like rip them a new one. It's Wild Card. Oh yeah, Wild Card Wednesday. Yeah, because he's gonna be gone for the weekend because he's gonna be over at NVE. If you guys are in the New York eastern coast area, go to NVE. Go say hi to Grim. Go say hi to PoonSauce. Go say hi to Swaggins, Daily Vape TV. I think Michelle Lynn said she might drive up there for a little bit. Who knows? Go hang out with anybody that we talk to. Stooge Crew, Ohmies, Grim Army, all those folks. Yeah. So it's one of those things of like, have fun with it and enjoy the expo. All right. So as always, guys, mix on, vape on. And that didn't work. All right.